History, Chapter 7, From Shelters to Village Settlements. Points to be discussed. 7.1. I told you in the last chapter, 7.1 means chapter 7 in that point 1. So 7.1 shelter, 7.2 seasonal camps, 7.3 village settlements. So let us see one point each at a time. First one, shelter. Explanation: Neanderthal men were found in Europe. The climate of Europe was extremely cold, so they lived in caves. To protect themselves from the freezing temperatures, Neanderthal men wore leather clothing, and to protect themselves and keep themselves warm, they began to use fire. But that was not enough for them to survive. Neanderthal man began to use animal skin to erect the tent inside the cave for keeping the cave warm. They were also building huts in the open space. So students, I hope this point, that is shelter, is clear to you. Let us see the next point, seasonal camps. Explanation: in the Middle Stone Age, Homo sapiens established camps all over the world. They began to live in group, it means. They were progressing slowly. We learned this in the last chapter, yes or no? The climate was getting hotter. The climate was getting warmer. There was environmental change all over the world. The diet of Homo sapiens started changing. Big animals like mammoth, you can see in the textbook there is an image of mammoth as well as there is an image of elephant. Big animals like mammoth began to reduce considerably because mammoth were hunted down. Why they were hunted down? Mammoth is a huge animal. Its skin can be used to cover the caves or tents. So Homo sapiens started fishing on large scale. Homo sapiens also hunted wild animals like deer, mountain goat and sheep. Homo sapiens began to move from one place to another place in groups. Why? Due to the environmental change, due to the seasonal change. They began harvesting wild crops and started gathering fruits and roots. They started fishing continuously. They found suitable places of hunting as well. Homo sapiens stayed at one place for a longer period of time. They started cutting down trees and setting up seasonal camps for a longer period of time. So students, I hope the point seasonal camp is clear to you. Let us see the next point, village settlements. Explanation: in New Stone Age, the life of human was completely different as compared to the life in Old Stone Age and in Middle Stone Age. In this New Stone Age era, man was known as the producers of food grains. The beginning of cultivation came into existence. Due to hunting and gathering, man had to move from one place to another. Due to cultivation, it was easy for man to store food, to harvest the crop and to store food and use it for a longer period of time. Due to the storage of food, there was no need of moving from one place to another. Students, clear this point. In the beginning I told you, due to hunting and gathering, they were moving from one place to another. But when they start doing agriculture, when they started cultivating the crops, wild crops, they began to harvest it and they started storing the food grains for a longer period of time. That is why humans stopped moving from one place to another. That is why they stopped moving. Why? Because they started cultivating the crop, they started harvesting the crop, they started to store the food grains for longer period of time. That is why they stopped moving. Permanent settlements were established. People began to live in groups for a longer period of time and they were living there for generation to generation. It means they are born, they grew up, then they die there. It is known as generation to generation. So students, I hope the point village settlement is clear to you. Thank you.